Today we continue our sessions on careers, and one career that probably one may not even think as a career, but if you do not study nowadays, you are nowhere. So today we have with us Mr. Bruno Ferrao, the coordinator of the Don Bosco Night High School, who is going to tell us about the Night High School in Panjim, Goa. The reason we are focusing on this is there are many students who are what we call dropouts, and there are still many who come from other states in our country who like to study after they have started working somewhere. So to tell us all about the Don Bosco Night High School and the Don Bosco Highest Secondary School, Mr. Bruno Ferrao, the chief coordinator of these night schools of Don Bosco, will tell us more. First and foremost, Mr. Bruno, thank you and welcome to our show.
Thank you, sir.
We, as you heard me say, we are focusing on careers in our channel, and we want parents and students to know that in the event they do drop out for whatever be the reason, that there is still an opening for them, and that opening is here right in Panjim.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about what this Don Bosco Night School is all about.
So basically there are many students which our customers are all these dropouts, people who have failed, people who have been thrown out from other schools. You know, sometimes there are parents who have children and they consider them as human capital, and many of them cannot afford to take care of their children, so they, what happens, send them to work. In due course, as they are working, they find that they are not getting upgraded and they have to be left only doing scavengers job and very simple work which will not give them much revenue. And as years come, everyone has a stomach and everyone has to grow and everyone has a need and everyone has a dream. So with all these needs, dreams, desires, you know, and growth, you need money today, and without money nothing moves. So that way we have given them, you know, a
foundation
way to move forward in their life.
So tell us, at what stage does Don Bosco Night High School offer admission to these students? At what stage? Is it 5th standard, 8th standard, 9th standard? At what point?
We offer, initially we started with standard 5.
Okay.
And then slowly, you know, we had to close down this class because the number of students, our customers you could say, were very limited. Okay. So slowly we closed down standard 6, slowly standard 7th. Then we continued with 8th, 9th and 10th.
Okay.
Now in standard 8th, for admission, any student is supposed to have his school living certificate, saying that he has passed standard 7, that he can continue in standard 8.
Okay.
And of course, if he has not passed standard 7th and he wants to still continue, provided he is 15 years old or more, then we can admit him in the 8th standard after getting the required permission from the Central Education Zone.
Okay, right.
So these procedures, by saying that we have conducted a test and we feel that he is suitable for standard 8.
Okay. So what you are really saying is that even till today, you do take students from standard 8th onwards?
Onwards,
okay, right, okay. Provided they are 15 years and they pass some kind of a test that you give them?
Yeah, that is the way.
Okay. Now, when actually does the admission process begin?
It starts in June. Any normal school, we start in June. Of course, you know, there are people who always come late, but somehow or the other we accommodate everyone. And we work half time. You know, supposing a school works from 8 o'clock till 1:30, we are working from 6 o'clock till 8:30.
6 o'clock in the evening till 8:30 in the evening. Okay, right.
Just with.
And how do the students or the parents know that you are running this night high school? Do you have a kind of a publicity going on or something happening?
Yeah, as far as publicity is concerned, our students only are brand ambassadors.
Okay,
you know, they know who are their colleagues and people who have failed, so they bring those type of students. Then secondly, we send press notes every year to all the regular English newspapers, through the Marathi newspapers, through the Hindi, whatever is there. Then we make request for some publicity in all the churches around Panjim, and maybe some mosques and all other places, and even some government offices and private institutions.
So how many students do you actually have currently in the 8th, 9th and 10th?
8th we do not have anyone. In the 9th we have around 23 and
Okay.
10th we have about 7. So total 30 in the this year.
And you also run a higher secondary school.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how many students you have there?
In the high secondary we have around 38 students total in the 11th and 12th in arts and commerce.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have a science stream?
Science we don't have because we'll have to have a laboratory and we have to have those skill
wonderful.
These are
Okay.
the
And when you say that you have 35 students in the higher secondary,
yeah.
are these students all?
38, yeah, 38.
Yeah. Are these students all from Goa or they from Jharkhand and those kind
No,
of states?
mostly they are from Goa. Now, to be very frank with you, there are people who have some of them who join in the 11th or who join in the 12th. They have already gone through this exam as a high secondary exam or what's it called? You can say this SSC examination, and they have failed. And so they come as repeater students. So they are already they
know the
faced a public exam. So they, like in case they go for any tuitions, it would be very expensive for them. So they are getting everything free of with paying a very small nominal charge, and they can excel well.
And what is that charge?
The charge is not much. It's 1,100 as far as school.
1,100
for the full year. For the full year.
Only 1,100 for the whole year?
For the whole year. That is all the
So that's about
fees which we are so authorized to collect.
About 130 rupees a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because basically we don't have that much of cost. The facilities are of Don Bosco High School. The classrooms, the electricity and everything is the water. We don't have any big bills to be paid.
So you say that quite a few students are in fact from Goa. But what about the students from other states? Don't they have a language problem?
They as such don't have a language problem because and once they come to Goa they learn the language. It is the Konkani language or Hindi which is normally spoken. They manage with it.
No, but your medium of instruction is English.
English.
So if they manage Hindi and Konkani, how does it help in English?
Their command over English is a little poor, but with the model questions and answers given to them, they do well. They manage to scrape through and get passing marks.
Yeah, but they have to answer in English.
Yes, they have to answer in English. Medium of instruction.
So if
is
their
English.
medium of instruction has always been Hindi,
yeah,
where do they learn the English from?
Those ways we have a very few people like that. Not maybe one or two, which they have to manage on their own.
So those one or two,
Yeah.
which are there,
Yeah.
do you have some special coaching for them or some assistance in some form or the other?
No, we don't have any special assistants. That may be they manage somehow or the other. The teachers manage. Because first only we tell them what are the subjects they'll have to go through and all the guidance and assistance and the model questions and answers are given to them without going through in detail the entire textbooks.
Okay.
All the
So in these 2 hours of instruction,
yeah.
you are able to cover all the subjects that are on the syllabus.
Yes, sir. We have to cover.
Because there are quite a few subjects.
Yeah.
There are something like 8 subjects.
Around 6 or 8. Yeah. We manage. That is not a problem because as I told you, these people are already matured people, and it's not that they are coming on their own and they have a big dream. So studying is not a problem for them.
I mean, they are quite motivated to study.
Motivated. We have people who are even 45 years old. Some are parents also. Some of the parents, their children have completed 12th standard, but they have a deep desire because sometimes in case you're working in a government office, you're in the comfort zone as long as your boss is good to you. Once your boss is retired, then the next boss who is younger expects a lot from you. So they want multi-skilled people, and that is our school gives them all the motivation to come up in life.
But having said that, one of the motivations of students has always been sport. Do you all have sport facilities for them?
We do have a very big playground. We have all the facilities. We have Don Bosco Auditory. The Don Bosco Auditory facilities are given free of cost without any membership fee by the rector to them. So those of them who come slightly early, they can always avail of the services and they can play carom, table tennis or all the indoor games.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do they take part in it?
They take part.
Are these any of the students into competitive sport, like say football or something like that, where they can play in some teams?
We had people, sometimes because of sports and all, they don't do well in class.
Yeah.
So those people have been pushed out of their regular school. So they have come to the night school, and from the night school they have won prizes, and they have gone and participated in some tournaments, and they have done well.
Has anybody been in our FC Goa team, for example?
So far, no, we don't have here.
What about Dempos and Alemao, etc.?
We had some in depots, yeah.
Right,
That was years back.
So finally, in the when they appear for the exams, the 10th standard and the 12th standard, how many of them are actually going to appear this year in the 10th, and how many are going to appear in the 12th?
This year we'll be having 7 in the 10th and around 12 in standard 12th.
Okay.
12 standard. 12 students.
You've got more students in the higher secondary.
Yeah, we have more students there. Actually, like we have the capacity of taking even 40 students, But then, to that extent, what happens is we are not finding it, managing to get all these students, because many of the students want money fast, so they want to get, involved in, even after their regular job, go and do work for some other companies like couriers and, wherever they would deliver food and anything else and get more money. Since the cost of living is very high, so they just cannot break through.
So, as far as going back one step, in the previous years, 10th standard and 12th standard, what has been your success rate in terms of percentage of passing?
It has been quite good. Like, to be very frank with you, there are, there have been students who have never not performed well in the regular schools, but they have come to our night school and performed. Like, even if they have performed now in the high secondaries or in the high schools, there is a very high percentage and people get 85, 97%. But here, even if you get pass class and you're first among that pass class, you would get a award from that Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. They have 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. So that award is, they can avail of that.
So how many of your students have actually taken that Sarva Shiksha award?
Every year we have at least three from the school and 6 from the high secondary.
And how much is that? About 3,000 rupees?
Yeah, 3,000 is for the first, 2 for second, and 1,000 for the third. Like, the first 3 get.
Okay.
And yeah, that is for school, and for high secondary it is slightly more. 6, 4 and 2.
So with that award they have covered their fees?
They have covered their fees, and that has been some pocket money, but that they don't require because most of them are working students, This is something beyond, like.
All right, okay. And what is the complement of your staff like? How many staff members you have teaching them?
We have got around 6 in the high secondary and around 5 in the school.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have the same regular subjects which are being taught in the regular high secondaries and same in the school.
So you have to pay those teachers?
We are not paying, they are paid by the government. But they are all paid on lecture basis.
Okay.
150 rupees for school teachers and 250 rupees for high secondary teachers. That is only as in when they have the lecture. Like today, if it is a holiday, they are not paid.
Okay. And that lecture is for what, 45 minutes?
It is for about 40 minutes in the high secondary, 40 minutes, and in the high school it is for 30 minutes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
30 minutes for the high school?
Yeah, 30 minutes for the high school because we have got 5 periods, and for the high secondary we've got around 3 periods.
All right. Tell me, Mr. Ferrao, those students who have passed the higher secondary, okay, have any of them gone for graduation?
Yes, they have gone for graduation, and some have gone for post-graduation also.
Some have gone for post-graduation
also, yeah, that way. See, what happens is, as far as school is concerned, there is something which keeps you behind. Sometimes it is the language, sometimes it is mathematics. So at school level, supposing you have cleared and you have cleared your SSC, and then you have a certain passion and to go in for high secondary, but you're not good in science, so you go for arts. You're not good in arts, you go for commerce, but somehow or the other you get graduated. So after you get graduated, you get post-graduated, and then you can really do, and there is a lot to learn today.
You heard that, students. You see, if for some reason, maybe due to some problem at home or whatever be the reason, you have become a dropout, or what they call you a dropout, you have just heard Mr. Ferrao telling you that some of the students who joined the night high school have not only finished their higher secondary, they have gone on to do their graduation in college and their post-graduation as well. So don't get discouraged because for some reason you have had to drop out, or whatever be the reason for the dropout. Go and see Mr. Ferrao in Don Bosco High School, and you will be happy to know that there is an opportunity for you here to go ahead and study further, and maybe one day you might become, in fact, not only a supervisor but a manager of the company that you are working for. So there is always hope, provided you have the motivation to study. Now, Mr. Ferrao, I'm not quite yet finished with you, but I just wanted to make sure that the students understand exactly this problem. Now, in terms of choice of subjects, suppose, as you just now said, maths is not one of the favorite subjects of students. Can they drop out maths?
No, at school level you cannot drop out anything. There are some fixed subjects like English, Hindi, Konkani. Then we have maths, science and social science. So once you have cleared your SSC, then further you can decide on your choice.
Once you go into arts, you don't have to worry about maths.
You don't have to worry about maths, so you can choose whatever you want. Then you can go in for maybe hotel management, you can do whatever you want.
Right, okay. Now, this thing about, as you said, most of these people are working people.
Yes.
Okay. Do they actually get promotions if they are working, say, for government or for a private sector? Do they get promotions as soon as they show their 12th standard certificate?
Whenever there is an opportunity, they will get a promotion. That is always, they will be always wanted because they are known people and they have managed their office. But it is only the qualifications that has kept them behind. Nowadays, in many of the, like we had people who have even gone and got jobs as clerks in the banks. They started as peons. But see, what happens is there is an opportunity and you can enter as a clerk provided you have passed SSC. How many attempts you have gone through is not a problem for the employer. Whether you have gone for 4 attempts or 5 attempts, but once you have passed SSC, even in past class, you can go and you are qualified for the clerk's post. They don't go to see what percentage you have got, but if you have passed in all the subjects, you got a passing certificate, it's great and you can continue your life.
So you have been in this business for quite some years. How many years you said?
34, sir.
30 years?
34
years in the higher secondary business.
No,
okay.
No,
so let me ask you a pertinent question here. 34 years in the higher secondary, night high school, Mr. Ferrao, that's a long, long time. But tell me one thing. Can you name, say, 3 students who have been your stars and who have really come up in the corporate life or in the government life or whatever?
See, yesterday there was a big rally in Panjim Azad Maidan.
That's right, yes.
One of the main activists was Arturo D'Souza. He spoke very well. He was our student from our night high secondary, and then after that he did his graduation and he did his post graduation. Then he started working as a lecturer in a high secondary. And today he's an activist and he's leading people in the right path.
So yesterday when he spoke to the rally of maybe some 20,000 people,
25, yeah.
He was one of the main speakers?
He was one of the speakers, yes.
Fantastic. Wow.
Besides Albertina was there and there was a lot of other people, really motivated speakers, good speakers, which we cannot even imagine.
So where did he learn the art of speaking? And that also in public? Did you all have some public speaking courses or something?
See, that is inborn in some of these students. But the only thing is, what keeps them behind is, as I told you, the qualifications.
That's right.
And because they may be the best speakers, but if they are not qualified, they don't stand any chance anyway.
So you have quoted Arturo as one of your stars.
We also had another Francis Pereira of Pilfran Travels. He's an owner of, you can say he runs luxury cars and one of the best cars and best buses, and he's really doing well. Not that all of them have completed their school, but still some of them are self-employed.
But this gentleman has completed, and he's running a very successful business.
Yes. He's also running a very successful business. Wow. Like him, there are every nook and corner you go, you'll find in any shop, you'll find our students. You may go to the vegetable market, you'll find them.
No, that I can accept.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of stars, stars who have really shone after they have gone through a period with you and then have been motivated to go for the graduation and then go for post-graduation.
We have people even in the police department who joined and they have got promotions as assistant sub-inspectors, constables and all. Everywhere we have got people. We see them everywhere. We feel very happy.
So they must be coming to you and saying, Mr. Ferrao, thank you so much for the
See, in Don Bosco's, nobody can, avoid coming because one day or the other there is an exhibition, there is something happening. So that is the only place in Panjim which
that's right,
gets a lot of crowd.
Okay. So all in all, what is the advice you can give with all your massive experience that you have for students who have decided to drop out due to maybe domestic violence or parents being in alcohol or whatever be the reasons? What is the advice you could give them?
See, no one should regret whatever bad happened in the past. They should just forget. The future is very good for everyone, and they should only attempt. They should they do not know what is in store for them. They can always do better. Even if they have failed, there's no problem. They can appear second time, third time, but one day they will come up in life, and they'll have very good opportunities which they themselves will not even imagine. Because sometimes many things come to you by default. It is not in your hands to do some certain things. Sometimes you are working in a small office, you get an opportunity to do things which you never imagine. And it is not only to cut cost, it is sometimes the office is small and your employer cannot employ 10 or 20 people, so you become a jack of all trades, and you finally get involved and do anything and everything, and the boss also doesn't feel bad to ask you to do anything, because he knows for sure you're going to do it and you will complete a job whether the other staff is there or not. So each one should have a confidence in his own self and complete a job which is not very difficult.
Well, here you are, parents. If you have a child of yours who is a dropout and you don't know what to do, or if you students who are listening to this program today don't know what to do having passed your 8th standard and feel totally dejected, go and meet Mr. Ferrao at Don Bosco Night High School and talk to him, and I'm sure he will be able to guide you to get on with your life, motivate you to study, and you will be a success of your life. Mr. Ferrao, thank you so much for spending time with us. I'm sure some student somewhere in Goa or whoever is listening to this program who is a dropout will definitely come to see you, because he knows that you have the tools to make him a happy and successful man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for your time. God bless you.